this has been the institution for 20, almost 30 years, and this is the free place to play. This is the place where you come down, you can play. You can play, and people will come, and Esquire just named it 41st best bar in America.
You get to see some of the best music down here in South Florida in one place, and a lot of the people here too, like I was saying, they're musicians, and everybody's kind of here to hang out.
But like I say, the bands come, the folks come out, and what more can you ask for?
It's Churchill's. It's been here for like 40 years. That's it. I mean, pretty much that's it. It is the place for live bands to play in South Florida all the way. Okay? No matter what.
Man, Churchill is one of my favorite places in the whole world. I mean, just not playing. Yes, playing here feels good and comfortable. It's a good stage and a good sound system. It's like a real club, it's totally legit. It's completely authentic. It's not like it's trying to be punk rock or indie or whatever. It just is. It's been here for 30 years. They let any motherfucker go up there and smash beer bottles in their head if they want to. And most cities don't have anything like this. They have something that's kind of like it or close, or it's closed down if New York or whatever. So
you get to play. I've never figured I would be playing for 30 years in a band, and without Churchill's, I'll probably have to say the truth of the matter is I wouldn't be playing very much.
I'm Dave Daniels. I became the owner of Churchill's 32 years ago, come September the 1st. I've always been into live music. I had my first club in 1960, which was a jazz club. But within a year, the Beatles had happened, and I was booking mainly groups. Towards the end of the decade, quite a few places were being set up as discos without any live music at all. But I continued to book live music. So this was in England, not America.
To be honest with you, the policy of open house, it's basically, Dave has always been good to everybody, and if somebody has an opportunity, like to walk into a club and say, I'd like to take over your venue, I'd like to do this show, I'm thinking on this, but I don't know, and Dave just says, are you going to bring a crowd? Yeah, I'll bring a crowd. Okay, are they going to be drinkers? Yeah, alright then, do it.
60% of these people, I can't see them going anywhere else. They may play in their garage, but they're not going to go to all these other clubs, Vagabond, all these, Space, all these other clubs that they have. This is where people come. I'm sure people have tried it over the years. They've tried having a punk night, renting a warehouse out, stuff like that. But this is where they come. It really is. And Dave Daniels, the owner, he's been doing that for years, and it's just something that these people love to come here. Some people have said we're the CBGBs of Miami.
Churchill's is a landmark, that's for sure.
When I took it over, it used to close at 7 o'clock in the afternoon. It had been a neighbourhood beer and wine bar called C&H Bar, going back to 1948. I guess it would have been about 3 years later when we knocked through the first wall. At that point, we put live music in what would be down the middle, sort of early 80s. Initially, we were getting some pretty lousy punk groups on Saturday nights and maybe Friday nights. One night I'd heard Charlie play, and he was one of the leading bands at the time of the town. Came in and saw me one night when there was some not very good punk band playing. And we sat and talked for an hour, and at the end of it I said, well, Charlie, are you going to come and play for us? Oh yeah, and I said, well, okay, how much do we charge? Oh, $2 like everybody else, he said. If I'd have been managing Charlie at the time, it would have been $5, but he was so much better than the other bands of the time, certainly the ones that we were using.
Here's exactly what happened. Dave gives me way too much credit than I deserve. The scene had just lost one of its clubs, and I knew that there was some kid bands playing here, and they were played on the floor, and I just came down and I said, look, I'll come down, we'll come down and we'll play for the same amount of money. In other words, we'll play for the door just like every other band, and we'll set up on the floor, and so long as you got a PA, we'll play. So we came down, we played, and basically the scene at the time was, I don't know, carried 70, 80, 100 people with it, and so everybody came.
He drew a big crowd, you know, on his strength, or 5 times as many as the rubbish band were drawing. And at about the same time, Hacknell came in with a little cassette, heard it and liked it, and we put them in.
The next weekend there was another scene band playing, and so the scene sort of moved here.
The other bands of the day would come and see, but there weren't many places to play there. And they thought, well, if Charlie and this guy, Hacknell, perfect strangers with this group, can do these sort of bands, we can do just as well or better. So we gave them dates. They couldn't do quite as well, but again, they were much better than the stuff we've been using, you know. So RBT and PT Martyrs.
It was with the Martyrs, and I think I glammed in right after Charlie played the first shows here, because there was young punk kids doing shows on the floor, and as soon as they were in, it was the only place to play. So we all sort of nomadically went from spot to spot that would allow bands, original bands, to play. And for the longest time, it became the only thing. It was like one horse town. And you know, without Dave, a lot of bands wouldn't have flourished.
And to some extent, I think at that stage, probably nobody else wanted that music. There have been other clubs that have come and gone, you know, like Washington Square and Roses. I mean, I think these places, perhaps because of where they were, thought that they would be better than us and that we would roll over and die, but you know, it didn't happen. We're still there.
It's so different. Monday night jazz, Tuesday night could be acoustic, Friday night could be agnostic. It's just, there's so many diversities of music.
My name's Max. I play with Brain Chips. Kind of like Roadhouse rock, some circus, klezmer, Swamp Billy, I don't know. Just good rock and roll, man, you know?
We play hillbilly music. We keep old time country alive.
They play like acoustic guitar, so it's kind of like very mellow music, you know.
Heavy indie music and metal.
Ambient doom, maybe. It's very heavy. A lot of it is slow.
There's been some fantastic bands, touring bands come through here. The Boss Martians came through about 4 years ago. They were fantastic. The guy got done playing guitar, and I walked up to him and said, "Hey, wow, that was a really fantastic show." He goes, "It's all I fucking live for, man. I fucking wouldn't do any fucking thing else." And I went, "Wow, okay."
Del the funky Homo sapien, which is with the Gorillas. Richie is a rapper, but he's from the old school.
Yo, I'm putting suckers on standby, doing things you and your man tried with great success while they break their necks, perfect the lost art of dialect.
Hormone Underwater. It's kind of like blues alternative.
We had a band, a skinhead band from England. I say they're a skinhead band, they're you know, called The Business.
Hop in Sum 41. They did a video here.
I've seen the Eat here, I've seen the Psycho Daisies here, the DT Martyrs, Mr. Entertainment and the Pookie Smackers, Charlie Pickett.
Like the Slackers.
They shot down the marchers on a winter's day. They lay face down in the snow as their lives ran away. Now the distance between them.
And then we had a guy called Buddy Miles who used to play with Jimi Hendrix. He played with him.
My mind is going through them changes. I feel just like committing a crime.
They had a guy coming from Australia who plays play the glass, sheet play the glass. He has a mic, a pickup on the play the glass, and his pedals.
For the last, I think, 17 years, we've done what's been called Miami Rock Festival the month of September. We tend to go a little bit later and pile more bands in. I think one year we had over 400 bands in the month of September. Normally it will be over 300. Well, we have a good big stage. We have a good sound system, and you know the sort of audience we get here. It's relaxed. They don't take themselves too seriously. It's good live music live shows.
And the amazing thing is it's not the bands, it's the people that turned up to see the bands.